Welcome to Grumpy Old Geeks, a weekly talk show where we discuss the finer points of what went wrong on the internet and who's to blame. I'm Jason DeFilippo.
I'm Brian Schulweister. I like that little pause there, Jason, as if you're weary of the world and everything we're about to discuss.
Well, that's every show we have, Brian. So what's your point?
That's a good point. In happier news, winter is over. Spring training is done. The boys of summer are back playing again. It was opening day for baseball yesterday. It is currently 24 degrees Fahrenheit here. It is supposed to snow again next week. So what? I don't know. But baseball is back, and I enjoy having it on in the background. It's very soothing to me throughout the day, and of course, my Dodgers. But I did want to make a quick note. If you are a baseball fan or just even a casual enjoyer of the game and happen to be a T-Mobile subscriber in the U.S., T-Mobile gives you a full year of the MLB app for free if you're a T-Mobile customer. Under a lot of caveats, like you have to be a certain level of their customer. And of course, all the other caveats that go with the MLB app, which is no post-series games. And whenever they decide to give a game to Amazon or Apple or Netflix or Hulu or Quibi or whoever that they want to decide to give a game to, and you don't get that game. But in general, if you're a T-Mobile customer, redeem it, you get it for free. It's nice.
Okay, for the 4 games that you do get to watch on T-Mobile, it's worth it.
Pretty much, yeah. We have some follow-up. We've been talking about Polymarket and how it's basically going to become a death trap for people. And maybe betting on everything isn't a good idea, but maybe they're kind of sort of agreeing. They've announced that they're going to take insider trading more seriously, as opposed to the not seriously at all as they have been taking it.
Right. It was a feature, not a bug before.
It's seen in its latest press release, the prediction market updated its market integrity rules, specifying those concerning insider trading and market manipulation. It's nice to think that they're taking the initiative to update its rules, but it's likely a response to the rise in suspicious bets, whether it's about the U.S. capture of Nicolas Maduro or the release of a new product from OpenAI or, nuclear weapons going off and all the other things that have been on their platform recently. They are targeting 3 specific forms of trading activity. First off, users aren't allowed to trade on stolen confidential information or any behind-the-scenes knowledge about an outcome that people wouldn't otherwise have access to, which begs the question, how the fuck would they know?
Exactly. That's the whole point. It's insider information.
But, people figure that out in the stock market. It takes a long time. There's trials, blah, blah, blah. As an extension
Not anymore.
Well, we used to do such things.
We used to.
Polymarket traders are also going to be prohibited from taking advantage of illegal tips, which means that even if someone has access to confidential information and passes it along, you still can't trade on it. You listening, Martha Stewart?
Hey.
She served her time. Yeah.
Don't be dissing Martha. Yeah. Come on.
And users can expect more surveillance and enforcement around these new rules as well. Oh, wait, I missed the third one. Lastly, anyone who is in a position of authority or influence sufficient to affect the outcome of the underlying event isn't allowed to trade on said event. So nobody in the Trump administration is allowed to trade on what shoes they're going to be wearing tomorrow, apparently.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know. So, punishment, the Mr. Beast video editor was suspended for 2 years from the platform and fined 5 times the amount of his initial trade size.
Ooh. Yeah. He probably lost his job with Mr. Beast, which, is probably worth a hell of a lot more than that stupid trade he made. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, if they can't fix the stock market, if you just watch the stock market this week and you look at all the insider trading, if they can't fix that, what chance does Polymarket have?
0. But they got to show face, and
they got to front.
That's what they're doing. They're fronting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, a federal judge has put the brakes on the Pentagon's attempt to label Anthropic a supply chain risk to national security, a ruling that is straight up First Amendment retaliation. Ruling that it's straight up First Amendment retaliation. It's an early morning, Brian. It's an early morning. I do like doing this at night. It's so much better. Anthropic had the audacity to say that its AI shouldn't be used for autonomous kill decisions or mass surveillance, which got Pete Kegstand's panties all up in a bunch, if you remember.
I do.
Well, Judge Rita Lynn called it classic illegal retaliation, noting, and I love this, that if the Pentagon just didn't want to use Claude, they could, stop using Claude.
If you don't like it, you can turn it off.
Yep. Instead, Hegseth's February directive went further, essentially branding an American company a potential military saboteur for disagreeing with the government. The judge thankfully wasn't having it. The order takes effect in 7 days, giving the administration time to appeal. Anthropic says it's grateful and remains focused on working productively with the government. And I would like to point the next government, because this government probably isn't going to work with them anymore. But
You know how
they go ahead.
I just have a quick note about how I currently view our hanging by a thread democracy in the United States right now. I know that the MAGAs and the extreme right has the thin blue line, which is the police force protecting themselves. I see this. We basically have a thin black robed line protecting democracy at the moment, which is these heroic judges that are basically saying, "Fuck no, no,
Yep.
no." And that we got the heroic black robed line is basically keeping democracy alive at the moment, and that's all we got. So keep at it, judges.
Yes, and most of the judges we're going to talk about today are women, by the way.
Yes,
So,
well, I think things might be a little bit different if we had a woman in charge right now.
could be.
I wonder if she won that election.
Moving on in the news.
In the news.
A jury in New Mexico has found Meta liable for violating the state's consumer protection laws in a high-profile civil trial over child exploitation and other safety issues. This case was brought by New Mexico's Attorney General in 2023 and centered around allegations that Meta knew its platform put children at risk of exploitation and mental health harms and failed to put safety measures in place. How did we know that they knew it? Because, as we've discussed in shows prior, they studied it and then buried the evidence about it.
Yeah. We have the paperwork. We have the whistleblowers and we have the paperwork.
In the end, the jury ruled that Meta was liable for both counts of violating New Mexico's consumer protection laws for misleading people in the state about the safety of its services. It imposed a penalty of $375 million, the maximum amount under the law based on the number of violations. So while still kind of chump change for Meta, it's a pretty big deal.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal because now we have legal precedent.
Exactly, because there are hundreds of cases like this coming from
thousands
everywhere. So now we know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say we're going to talk about a lot of good thin black robed line cases in this particular episode of our show. Don't get used to it.
Don't get used to it. No, this is one of those episodes where it's like we actually have good news.
Glimmers of hope. Glimmers of hope. And here's another one. A jury in Los Angeles has found that Meta and YouTube were negligent in closely watched trial over social media addiction. This case was brought by a 20-year-old woman named in court documents as KGM, who sued Meta, YouTube, TikTok, and Snap, saying that she had been harmed by the platforms as a child due to its addictive features. TikTok and Snap, well aware of their business models, decided to reach a settlement ahead of the trial.
Yep.
According to NBC News, Meta was ordered to pay 70% of the $3 million in compensatory damages, with YouTube taking on the remaining portion. Unfortunately, chump changes, but again, precedent.
Yep. And punitive damages have not yet been decided, so we still have some hope that there'll be more money.
We respectfully disagree with the verdict and are evaluating our legal options, a Meta spokesperson said. And the Google spokesperson said, "We disagree with the verdict and plan to appeal. This case misunderstands YouTube, which is a responsibly built streaming platform, not a social media site. I would like to tell Jose Castaneda, the Google spokesperson, that your responsibly built streaming platform used to send my kid beheading videos while he was stuck in YouTube Kids."
Yep. And I do believe that there are comments on those videos, which makes it kind of a social networking site.
Exactly.
Yeah. You slice those words whatever way you want to. The fact that you do that is, problematic.
Yes.
So
again, precedent has been set, and there are thousands of these lawsuits coming.
Oh, yeah. The Huns are at the gate. Well, in some more thin black line news, Elon Musk's lawsuit claiming advertisers illegally boycotted X just got dismissed with prejudice by a federal judge, which is court speak for "don't come back." Judge Jane Boyle, another hero, ruled that Musk failed to show consumers were harmed, which is kind of the whole point of antitrust law. Turns out companies simply deciding they don't want to buy ads somewhere isn't illegal. Shocking, we know. Musk had been pushing to have advertisers criminally prosecuted, which went about as well as you'd expect. The judge also called out X for a fishing expedition, seeking sprawling information way beyond anything relevant to the actual case. Meanwhile, X's ad revenue had cratered as much as 59% during the boycott. Well, maybe the content moderation gutting wasn't the brilliant move everybody thought there, Elon, but an appeal is likely, of course.
Well, he's had another lawsuit and he lost. A group of former Twitter investors have prevailed at a federal civil trial over Elon Musk's action amid his $44 billion acquisition of the social platform in 2022. A jury in San Francisco found Friday that tweets made by Musk about fake accounts on the platform had defrauded investors in the company. The jury sided with Musk on other allegations in the case. It's not yet clear how much Musk will owe in damages as a result of the case, but as the AP reports, it could amount to billions of dollars. Juries calculated that shareholders should get between $3 and $8 per stock per day.
Oh, damn.
The class action lawsuit, one of several brought against Musk in the months following his takeover of the company, cited Musk's tweets about fake accounts on the platform. Facing the sinking Tesla share price in the days after announcing he would buy Twitter for $54.20 a share, the suit said that Musk made tweets and statements that were intentionally made to drive down Twitter's share price in an attempt to renegotiate or get out of the deal entirely. We all remember this.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we know how it ended.
We know how it ended, and it's not ending well for Elon now. So basically, they said, you tried to manipulate the market, you tried to mislead the investors, and you're going to owe them some money now. So this is becoming the most expensive company takeover in history for nothing.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, wait. Except for maybe winning an election.
Yeah, got that part in there too. Yeah. All right. A federal judge ruled this week that a lawsuit against Elon Musk and DOGE can move forward. Specifically, the claim that Musk was basically running a shadow government without ever going through Senate confirmation. You know, that quaint little constitutional formality. Well, the case, originally brought by nonprofits like the Sierra Club and the Japanese American Citizens League, accuses DOGE of illegally cutting federal funding, firing workers, and dismantling agencies. Judge Tanya Chuktan, another hero, let the core constitutional claim survive, though she tossed a few others. Meanwhile, in what might be the most perfectly ghoulish moment of this entire saga, a former DOGE staffer admitted under oath that yes, he has no regrets about people losing their income, and no, DOGE did not actually reduce the federal deficit. Although the website still claims $215 billion in savings, but that's because they lost the WordPress password to get in to update it.
They fired Big Balls, and it was his responsibility to update the website. That was the problem.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
All right. Well, I think we've come to the end of that segment. I would just like to say thank you for your service. Thin Black Line, keep it up.
Keep it up. Please keep it up.
Now let's talk about the thin pink slips. An actual news of hiring instead of firing, and this kind of blows my mind. OpenAI is doing the opposite of most other tech companies, although they did fire a bunch of people earlier in the year. So anyways, according to a report from the Financial Times, the AI giant is looking to expand its workforce to 8,000 employees by the end of 2026, nearly doubling staff from its current headcount of 4,500. Hires will be across several departments, including product development, engineering, research, and sales. Probably not coding. OpenAI's hiring spree will include specialists for technical ambassadorship or employees tasked with helping businesses better utilize its AI tools. And this is probably because they're trying to ramp up against the competition against Anthropic and its Claude AI chatbot, which is basically eating its lunch right now. So OpenAI has some issues. People are not adopting it. They are attempting to pivot to business services. We'll talk a lot about that later. And they're basically going to hire a bunch of salespeople.
That's it. It's all sales. Yeah. It's all sales. Because in our next story, Sam Altman tried to say thanks to programmers. Instead, it lit up the internet. In a tweet, the OpenAI CEO said it's already getting hard to remember how much effort coding used to take, thanking developers for building the foundation that got us here.
You're welcome.
I call this the great brain robbery of all of this AI shit. A lot of these same developers heard it as a eulogy for their careers, so they might want to pivot into sales. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Replies flooded in, calling the message tone deaf at best, openly hostile at worst.
That's Sam Altman.
That's Sam Altman. Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah. One user summed it up saying, "Nothing says you're being replaced like a heartfelt thank you from the guy doing the replacing." Of course. Others pointed out the uncomfortable reality that AI models were trained on code and content scraped from those very same developers without compensation. And everybody else. Yeah. So,
yes. Everybody. Anybody creative, any coder. If you have farted on tape and it's digitized somewhere, they stole that. They took it from you, and it's in their fart algorithm.
OpenAI's fart algorithm. I'm sure it exists somewhere. I'm sure there's some code.
somewhere.
Yeah. And this one's great. Sam Altman went from Oscar party, like after party to after party, and to public enemy number one after getting confronted over OpenAI's Pentagon deal, which was pretty stupid. At a Vanity Fair bash packed with A-listers, playwright Jeremy O. Harris called him out, first comparing him to a Nazi propagandist, then walking it back and comparing him to a Nazi industrialist instead. Not exactly an upgrade. In an email to Page 6, Harris apologized for comparing Altman to the wrong Nazi collaborator.
Yes.
It was late and I had a few too many martinis, so I misspoke when I said Goebbels. I should have said Friedrich Flick, Harris stated. Bravo. Bravo.
A man of his principles. He knows when he made a mistake, and he's not ashamed to correct it.
Exactly. Exactly. If you'd have used OpenAI, you'd probably gotten it right the first time.
Nah, it probably would have ended up with Himmler.
No, that's true.
Because OpenAI gets shit wrong.
Well, Sora's been in the news. OpenAI is killing off its hype AI video model and the TikTok-style app built around it, ending a very short and very expensive experiment. This thing was costing them $15 million a day, by the way, which they did not have, still don't have.
Yeah. And they're hiring because they desperately need to make money.
And they're planning on going public, too, which is going to be phenomenal when we get to look at the books on that. Mm-hmm. What launched as a breathtaking and terrifying app quickly turned into uncanny deepfakes, confusing branding, and a social product nobody used after the first 5 minutes. The killer feature, Deepfake Yourself, felt less like fun and more like reputational Russian roulette, which it pretty much, the Jake Paul stuff was just hilarious. People were just tanking on him. It was great. Now it's being shut down as OpenAI pivots to enterprise with vague promises about what happens to your videos and whether the model survives in some other forms. Now here's the big fun. Disney has bailed on Sora and OpenAI because there was that $1 billion deal, which really wasn't a deal. It was more like a press release, and they were going to give them 200 different characters to use in Sora. Well, Disney saw the writing on the wall and said, fuck you guys, we're out of here.
They are the big winners here because they get out of having to pay $1 billion and making the worst mistake with their IP of all time.
Yeah, yep. So I think, now that Bob Iger is out of the picture, the new guy was just like, let's get the fuck out.
Yep.
So, all those bullshit Hollywood is dead headlines that you read everywhere, they were everywhere when Sora came out. I guess those were just AI slop or maybe just shitty journalism. I'm not sure, but it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Well, there's a pretty good article over on Slate about this called "The Tech Bubble Might Finally Be Popping." It's definitely worth a read. They actually get into the fact that most studios are getting out of all these deals and are training their own internal versions for video work and all that sort of stuff. So AI is not going away. It's just going away from the 4 or 5 big companies that are out there, and people are making their own tools internally, which makes a lot of sense to me. But some key points from this article that I really liked. OpenAI's abrupt shutdown of Sora reveals the AI boom might be a lot more fragile than it looks. No shit.
No
and then
shit.
They say, let's be blunt. A highly capitalized AI startup that bails on one of its most prominent creations and largest corporate deals so soon after hyping them up for months on end is not in a good position as a business, especially at a moment when it plans to pursue an IPO and thus expose itself to more financial scrutiny. And yet it's only one of OpenAI's many recent troubles, and a sign that the AI bubble, while far from bursting outright, is wobbling and weakening as we speak. In other words, and here's the downside of this, the one industry that's keeping up the country's growth on paper is closer to giving way and bringing around an all-around slowdown in economic activity, one that'll make the current moment feel like a cakewalk by comparison.
Oh, joy.
Yes, well,
just what I'm looking forward to.
The American economy was built, this is a castle built in sand right now, and the fucking waves are coming.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I think I predicted it at the beginning of the year, or the end of last year, for my predictions that OpenAI isn't going to make it past, the next year and a half. And it's looking like that because just their Scam Altman's bullshit financials and the Ouroboros of, AI financing right now. Who even knows if Anthropic's going to make it? But right now they're at least poised to go farther because of all the business dealings that they've done, the enterprise dealings.
Yeah.
I still think the one that's going to really make it out of this unscathed is going to be Google. Meta's going to keep trying, and they're failing hand over fist.
Meta can't make anything work. We've seen that. They just keep trying and trying, yet they still make money hand over fist by doing all the things that are being sued for. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the only upside is, Meta might just be in trouble because of all the lawsuits, and they're going to be busy with that for a while.
Yeah.
So, and if they just keep getting, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yep.
So people are just going to keep nibbling away at the old Zuckerberg. So, he should take his Ray-Bans and just hit the road right now. If he was smart, he would just get the fuck out of Dodge, take his money and run.
Yeah, you're done. Get out.
Yeah.
Well, Elon Musk has announced the Terra Fab project. So take your bets on Polymarket right now, whether this will happen or not, because it's Elon.
It won't.
Now,
but if he was smart, he'd get Fabrice Morvan to be the face of Terra Fab.
That's pretty good, actually. I like that. Now, the weird thing about this is it says a joint venture between Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI to build the largest chip manufacturing facility ever. Aren't they all rolled into one company now?
Not yet.
Oh,
They're going to
okay.
be. He tried to, but he couldn't. They're all basically investors in xAI.
Right.
Because, xAI has they've been gobbling people up, and he's been trying to get Tesla to, invest more. He's trying to make, because he wanted X to be the one platform. So I think he wants to have the one company.
Right.
But I think shareholders are going, fuck that noise.
Yeah, screw that. I'm investing in this part, not the rest of your crap.
Exactly. SpaceX.
I want to invest in SpaceX, not your porn bot engine.
Yeah. I don't want to Mecha Hitler. No Mecha Hitler in my SpaceX, please.
Well,
unless you're building Nazi moon bases, then we can talk. But
well, not content to simply call it the largest chip manufacturing facility ever, it is Elon, so he has to say that this is the next step towards harnessing the power of the sun and creating a galactic civilization. It's a chip manufacturing facility. It may be a big one, but it has nothing to do with galactic civilization.
Right now it's nothing, so it's not even a big one.
That's true.
So it's in his ketamine-fueled brain right now, so if it ever goes anywhere, we'll see.
Yes, the project's ultimate goal is to produce a terawatt of computing power each year so that it can match the company's growing demand for chips. He explained during a live stream that he's grateful to existing supply chain partners like Samsung, TSMC, and Micron, but fuck you. We're building our own.
Yeah. Screw you guys, I'm going to the moon.
It's estimated to cost at least $20 billion, and it will start with the Advanced Technology Fab in Austin, Texas, where Tesla is currently headquartered. As promising as this sounds, it is worth noting that Musk has previously overpromised and undelivered on everything.
Everything he's ever said that has come out of his mouth has been either late or never happened.
Thing.
Yeah. Hey, but we're getting a new Cybertruck minivan soon, I think. I think that's the...
No, we're not.
As a matter of fact, no,
Let me place my Polymarket bet on that right now.
Exactly. Well, the White House just refreshed its Science and Tech Advisory Board, and this version looks a lot less like a room full of academics and a lot more like a Silicon Valley VIP list.
Pay to play, baby.
Exactly. The President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, or PCAST, grab 'em by the PCAST, is now stacked with a parade of douchebags like Larry Ellison, Michael Dell, Mark Andreessen, Sergey Brin, Jensen Huang, and Mark Zuckerberg, co-chaired by Trump's AI and crypto point man, David Sachs. Good God. It just...
If you could bomb one room...
Seriously, man. It's like the Monopoly guy. Just a bunch of them lined up out the door with their bags of money, slapping it on Trump's desk.
Yep.
Yeah. Noticeably absent, though, are the AI triumvirate of Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Dario Amodei. So none of those guys got invited to the party because they don't have any money left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Officially, the board will advise on emerging tech and the workforce. Unofficially, critics see a pay-to-play vibe where companies that stay in the administration's good graces get influence and maybe funding, while others risk getting iced out because nothing says objective policy like a room full of fucking billionaires.
Very true, very true. I'm just going to read the headline from the next story because it tells you everything you need to know. Pinterest CEO says teens under 16 should be banned from social media, but not Pinterest. Douche.
He should be on the fucking board, too.
Pretty much.
Asshole.
And there could be one more step required before creating an account and posting on Reddit in the future. According to Reddit CEO Steve Huffman, the social media platform is exploring, at least they admit it, unlike you, Pinterest, and others. YouTube. The social media platform is exploring different ways to verify a user is human and not a bot. When asked by the TBPN podcast, How to Confirm That It's a Human Using Reddit. Huffman responded with several verification methods with varying degrees of heavy-handedness, and then proceeded to discuss everything that we've talked about as potential ways of verifying age, and hemming and hawing about all of them because none of them are perfect and some of them take away privacy, and that's really going to bother a bunch of users on Reddit who like to do things privately because there's some pretty dark corners in Reddit. And so he doesn't have a solution either, but he knows something's coming, and realistically, it's going to involve a trade-off on privacy. And they try to not say that part out loud, but you can hear it in the article.
Okay. Oh, dear. It's just a fun time, Brian. It's a fun time. The Thin Black Line has made my day for this week, at least.
That's true. It's a pretty good week.
Ups and doodads.
Well, Jason, I gave in to my son. Spent an
Again.
awful lot of money, and the Bamboo Lab A1 has arrived. The 3D printing adventure has begun.
Okay, it looks pretty cool. It's fancy.
It's a lot of fun. I'm sure people have found really good uses for this besides printing up plastic tchotchkes that are going to be all over the goddamn house.
I was going to say, it's more shit that you're just going to step on at 3 a.m. in your bare feet when you go take a leak.
It's fun to use it. It's been fun putting it together, understanding how it works. There's no doubt that, as you used to always say, Jason, it is neat. It is very neat.
It's neat.
And
neat.
If I were into figurines and I was an adult Dungeons and Dragons player and wanted to make people for all my campaigns, this would be the fucking bombass.com. Is it awesome for a 9-year-old boy? Fuck yeah, it is. Am I ever going to do anything actually useful with it? Probably not. Have I picked up a new skill set? Yeah. Okay. I have. I know how to do 3D printing, and I'm messing around with 3D models and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the one thing that, my birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
I'll be 55 this year. If you wanted to make me a really cool chess set, you could probably make a really cool chess set with that thing.
That would be very expensive. That would be a very expensive chess set to do all the pieces.
Really?
Because this stuff is not cheap.
Cost.
The filaments aren't cheap. This is actually probably going to be the biggest lesson for my son about 3D printing. Is we're gonna learn pivot tables, and we're gonna start to understand exactly how much everything he prints costs.
Okay.
Because he's been a very well, okay, hold on. This is actually very funny. I thought he was being a very generous friend because he came home and he had a list of things that he was going to print for all of it, for 7, 8, 9 of his friends at school. And I was like, well, I mean, he really does have a big heart. He gets this 3D printer. Of course, he prints some things for himself first, because why wouldn't you? But he wants to print things for his friends. The next day I find out it's barters and trades, and he's basically getting paid for everything.
Okay, so he's a little businessman.
I was even more impressed.
That is good. That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's been fun. It's been interesting. I'm sure I will have continued updates as we go along in the future. And hopefully this isn't something that he just loses interest in and collects dust. And then I got to figure out what to do with it, because now we got it here. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, you need to do some equations where you show how much his allowance is versus how many strands of whatever the filament is that he can actually play.
Yeah.
So so it's like if you get $5 for your allowance, you get this much to make your tchotchkes. So when you go sell them on the playground, you best get $10 so you can buy more filament and create the empire and buy more machines. And then
you know how you were talking about how you've been getting into the whole vibe coding thing and all that, and we talked off air. And I said, I don't, there's nothing I want to build. I can't think of anything. I've got PTSD from being a developer. I need to build a real-time money clicker that sits above the 3D printer as he's printing and showing him exactly how much money he's spending on the filaments and electricity as it goes through the whole thing.
That'll take you about half an hour. Yeah. The hardest part's going to be probably getting the little board to put up to the little LCD that you do. The hardware hacking.
An Arduino, and I can 3D print some of the boards, and we're good to
get
go.
An Arduino, and you're off to the races. But oh man, speaking of the coding thing, I've been just into codecs. I created the Grumpinator this week to try and help me parse through all of these feeds, because I spend a lot of time going through news every week. I had 100 feeds that I'm going through news on just to get the articles for the show, and I'm like, well, let's write some software to do that and parse it, do sentiment analysis and all this stuff. And I wrote this giant thing, and then it got way too complicated. Now I'm paring it down and paring it down, but it's been fun. It's been really fun because it's like I only have the $20 account on OpenAI. And if you use the Codex app to code with, it'll tell you in real time how many tokens you're using and when the refresh is. I've never even used a full day's worth of tokens, and I've had that thing running for 24 hours.
Right.
It's crazy. And it's actually that when it makes a mistake and I tell it, well, like, okay, the front end's janky right now. It's like, okay, let me go check and let me look at this and do it. And it talks to me like we would talk to our, direct reports, our management people. And I'm impressed by how
really is that much of an asshole?
Fucks up. It is. It really is. It's like, come on, I'm trying to fucking play Quake over here. Don't bug me on my smoke break. But it's definitely a better coder than I ever was or ever will be. So it's, which it probably ain't saying much, but damn, it's fun and it's not that expensive. And I'm running everything locally. I tried to do some Supabase stuff, but it was slow. So now everything's running on Postgres on my little M4 Air. And running Node and everything's in TypeScript. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm having a blast, and it's cheaper than a 3D printer. That's for damn sure.
That's true. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that used to be fun and free and now make us feel old, Twitter is officially 20 years old this week.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then in the article over on Engadget, the author wrote, in another reality that might make me feel kind of nostalgic, but instead it's making him feel nothing at all because of the way it ended.
Yeah, that's kind of it. It's like, yeah, it was so great when when it first started, everybody was like, what the fuck am I going to use this thing for?
Mm-hmm.
And then it turned into, oh my God, it's Twitter. And then it turned into, fuck. God damn it.
I like this little bit in the article. It's been 20 years since Jack Dorsey sent the first ever tweet, which was never even a very good tweet anyways. It's been 5 years, by the way, since he turned that tweet into an NFT. Remember NFTs? And auctioned it for nearly $3 million. It's now functionally worthless. Another chapter in Dorsey's confusing, complicated legacy.
So true. So true.
I don't really actually think it's all that confusing or complicated. He came up with the idea of a 140 character microblog, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
everything else that he went off to do had already been done before, except better. And he grew a big beard. That's his legacy.
Yeah, because he was never CEO material. He was a backroom nerd like the rest of us. Mm-hmm. He was just a coding dude. Yep. He had no qualifications
has no
to be a
business running his businesses.
Yeah, he has no qualifications to be a titan of industry. That's really not where his expertise
he's not.
is.
You'll notice he's like ignored on all the other things that we talk about. He's not invited to any of these councils. He's not part of it. Trump doesn't even know his name.
No, doesn't.
He's not a titan of tech industry at all anymore.
Well, because it requires 2 invites to get him to go anywhere because they need one for him and one for his beard. And so if either one of them decides to veto the invitation, then they can't go. So, and the beard just wants to go out and meditate. So
ayahuasca.
Oh, God. Well, the FCC just made a major move. No new approvals for consumer routers made outside the U.S. Existing models can still be sold, but anything new has to be American-made or a clear, tough, conditional approval process.
So it has to be expensive and not work.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no back doors, but it still doesn't work. That's how we avoid the back doors. It just doesn't work.
Right.
I don't know where Eros are made.
I don't either, but I think we're about to find out.
Well, I'm just not going to upgrade mine. Mine have been running fine for years, so hopefully...
I don't need to upgrade either.
Yeah, no new specs. That's all you do. Just no new 802.11 specs and we'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Just, we don't need Wi-Fi 6 or 7.
That's okay. They fired the people that were building that anyways. It's being vibe coded. So it's going to be a while.
Media Candy.
So, Brian, I did get to finally see the final episode of Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
Mm-hmm.
They could just end it right there. It was fine.
They are. Spoiler alert for the next story. What I didn't really realize was Tatiana Maslany was the mom. Mm-hmm. They didn't make her. They made her look different enough where I didn't really catch that was her. Yeah.
Until I saw the credits, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, That just did not. She was not giving She-Hulk vibes. She was not giving She-Hulk.
Well, no, it's a vastly different haircut, and I think they aged her a little bit, like with makeup and stuff. So definitely,
or they just left her normal.
Or that's true.
Yeah.
She wasn't green, so hard to tell.
Yeah, but I mean, and Orphan Black was a long time ago. So she was definitely younger during Orphan Black, which is still, if you haven't seen Orphan Black, worth going back. Not the reboot with the Jessica Jones girl. That one was terrible.
Right.
The original Orphan Black, I really enjoyed, and she should have got all the awards for that. Her acting was unbelievable. I really believe there were 7 different people in that show.
I thought she was phenomenal on She-Hulk as well. Very good actress. So
and that was just a great show. I'm bummed that didn't get renewed.
Yeah, me too.
It just had to be expensive.
It was funny.
Yeah. Surprisingly, very surprisingly.
Well, I mean, I would jump the gun a little bit on saying it ended there. We are getting one more season, which has already been shot, but Star Trek Starfleet Academy will end with its upcoming second season, Variety has learned. The first season of Starfleet Academy reached an 87% critical approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with Variety's Aramindy Tinubu describing it as a delightful entry point into the franchise. But the show failed to find a significant audience. Across its 10-episode first season, it failed to rank on the Nielsen Top 10 streaming viewership charts. So there are still 2 more seasons to come of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, 1 more season of Starfleet Academy. All of them are done except for post-production. And that's it. Paramount has basically killed off streaming Star Trek era. It's done. Theoretically, they're talking about going back. There's a movie in development, but there's been a movie in development for about 2 decades now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. It's sad. It's a 60-year-old franchise that still absolutely has legs. Sure, there are missteps. I also think the biggest problem is they don't let these shows go on long enough. The first few seasons of most of the older original Star Trek shows, not the original, but we're talking Next Generation, Discovery, all that sort of stuff.
Well, Discovery,
not Discovery.
That's a different beast.
Yeah. Sorry.
Enterprise,
Voyager,
Deep Space
Voyager.
Nine.
Those all took a few seasons to really find their footing and really take off, and nothing gets that anymore. I mean, the problem with Discovery is at the end of every season, they completely fucking just threw the dice and completely changed the show because it wasn't working. No, stick with it. Keep going. The first 2 seasons of Picard were middling at best.
Yeah. Those weren't even great, but man, that ended on a nuclear bomb of awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. It's just good luck now, because I don't know.
Yeah, there's an article over at Gizmodo called "Starfleet Academy Deserved Better Than This." That's worth a read, but Star Trek deserved better than this.
Yes.
So fuck you, Ellison.
Yes,
so
I agree.
Captain for Ellison. many reasons, but yeah. But this is just another one. It's like I wish they would just sell it. Just take the entire franchise,
give it to Netflix,
and sell it.
Give it to Netflix.
Give it to Apple.
Give it to Apple. Apple throws money at sci-fi, and they're all been crap. And you just give them Star Trek, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up on season 6 of that one show that we always say we're going to watch and never watch, the space one with the Russians. I can't even remember the name of it right now. But then Foundation, they gave all that money to Foundation for all those seasons, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, Tim Cook. Even if it as your last great humanitarian thing, just go over to Larry Ellison's son, or Larry, whichever one. It doesn't matter. They're the same. They're cloned like Foundation. It's like that's the cloning of the Emperor and Foundation. Just go buy Star Trek. Actually, we'll forgive you.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Apple getting it, but you know who should really get it, Jason? Because this is where the real money would start to come. Let Disney buy it. Let Disney buy it and let them make a Star Trek land. Oh my God.
That would be pretty awesome. Though the problem is you'd have the nerd fights in Frontierland, where the Star Wars world and Star Trek world would get together.
You got Will Wheaton in between going, no, we're okay. You can like both.
Oh.
All right. Remember I talked about Shrek and how my kids started to get into it. The first one was kind of rocky and not that good, but they progressively got better through 2 and 3. We just watched Shrek 4, Shrek Forever After.
I didn't even know there was a 4.
Whoa, boy, was that a drop in quality.
Okay.
I understand why they took a long time off making it after that. Apparently there's a 5th one that's in production right now, coming soon.
Oh my God.
hopefully they refound their writing, but this one was horrible. Next up, we're going to do the Puss in Boots standalone movies, which from what I recall, were very funny. So we'll see.
Yeah. Those are. I saw the first one. That was pretty good. Yeah.
All right. And Daredevil Born Again Season 2 dropped this week, the first episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very dark.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So glad that's back.
Yes.
So glad that's back. Yeah, Jessica Jones not back in it yet, but, we're waiting with bated breath.
5 minutes at the end of episode 8, which will end the season.
Yeah, probably
what we're going to get.
Yeah.
Continued to watch Shrinking. Quality is still... One episode's really good. One episode's kind of boring. The next episode's really good. The next episode's kind of boring. So that's been interesting. What hasn't been that way is The Pit. The Pit is by far my favorite show on television right now. Every episode is fucking cracking. Just seems to pass immediately. It's my wife and I always look at each other going, I can't believe it's over already. Didn't we just sit down? This is amazing. I can't wait for next week. It's really well done, Jason. You should watch it.
That's what everybody says, so I guess maybe I'll dig in, because I don't really have much else to watch since Star Trek's off the air.
And I hate these kind of shows. Like, I hate medical dramas, except for House. House is the only one I've ever liked. This is amazing.
Even like House. Okay, yeah. The whole medical procedural thing just doesn't...
Yeah,
same.
But this is great.
All right, maybe I'll give it a shot. What I won't be giving a shot is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the new series coming on HBO Max this winter. I watched the trailer. I think the trailer is probably great for kids, and it's going to be great for a new generation of Harry Potter fans.
It's not for you, Jason. There's no doubt about that. I watched the trailer.
The first one was barely for me.
I watched the trailer as well. I like the concept, the fact that they're doing each season is the book, so they can get a lot more into the stories and tell more of the actual book than the movies did. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for the original cast and the original movies because they were awesome. The biggest problem I have with this, and I wasn't impressed at all either, and this goes back to what Bittner talked about once on the show with us. There's no color to it.
No,
it is dark and drab and almost monochrome. The original movies burst with colors. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It's magic. It's exciting. And we got the greens and the reds and all the house colors. This is so washed out and drab and horrible looking. And I hate it. I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's just muted blah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
They're going to ruin it with that. Ruin it.
Yeah, I didn't even pick that up until you mentioned it. I'm like, there was definitely something missing. And it's just like, the house colors were just like, and even my roommate has even talked about this. It's like when we watch these shows and we have the brightness on our TV cranked up. I did the Consumer Reports thing that you told me to do to make my TV max. I maxed out my viewership on my TV, my TV maxing. And it is still too dark to see in a regular room during the day. These scenes are so dark, you can't see shit anymore.
Yeah, and I don't understand it for this first season in the first book because it is so for children. It is so supposed to bring you into the world and be exciting and fun and beautiful and colorful, and it's for kids, and you wash it all out and make it like we're watching a medical procedural drama for adults. Like, no, that's not what it's supposed to be. And I understand it gets darker later on as they get older and they're in rain and blah, blah, blah. But this whole first thing should be a fucking rainbow explosion.
It should be. It's not Fight Club with magic wands.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get it. I don't get the choice to do it this way.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
Yep. I'll still watch it.
Oh yeah, you got a kid. You can. You have permission. You have my permission.
Thanks.
And Stephen Colbert is going to be writing the next Lord of the Rings movie. It turns out with his son. So I don't know about Stephen's history with Lord of the Rings, but apparently he's a super duper uber fan.
Oh, massive, and huge.
So there we go. I'm fine with it.
I like Stephen. I like the fact that he's a total nerd about it. There's probably not too many people on the planet more prepared to write something like this. I will say that one little thing that I read in some of the articles about this that gave me is this an Elon Musk thing? Will we ever see this? Probably not, as I realized that in order for them to keep the IP, for Amazon to keep the IP, they have to have a movie in development. at all times.
Oh,
Just
dear.
development.
Okay.
They don't actually have to produce a movie, but something has to be in development.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, hopefully they'll do it. Hopefully it'll be good.
I'm all for it. I like the show. I like the Amazon show. I think the original 3 movies, even the extended ones that require me to sit there for 12 fucking straight hours to watch them, are unbelievably good. I don't need The Hobbit. I never need to see those movies again unless you can. I want a short and condensed 1-hour version of that,
Exactly.
of those 3 movies.
The anti-extended edition.
But I'm all for more Lord of the Rings content as long as it's good. So that's all I need.
Yeah, and you turned me around on the series. I actually really like the series. I got really bummed when I finished it so fast because I binged it, and I'm like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's going to be 2 more years? I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I just finished rewatching over the Christmas break. I rewatched all the extended editions of the original movies.
My favorite Christmas movies.
It was an absolute phenomenal experience again. They have total legs. And this is something that I still have never seen the Hobbit movies. So
they're horrible.
That's what I heard, that's why I didn't.
They're not horrible, but if you edited all 3 movies into one, it would be great. It's the fact that it's 6 hours of that crap.
Yeah,
the story was
6
too
hours
thin.
is only one of the other ones, so I'm kind of tempered with how long shit takes. So maybe I'll just watch it. But but I want to do the pit first. I'll do the pit first.
Okay.
Okay. The Supreme Court just handed ISPs a major win, ruling unanimously that companies like Cox Communications aren't liable for what users pirate unless they actively encourage it.
For once, it is just a platform.
Yeah. So that kills Sony Music Entertainment's attempt to force providers into acting like copyright cops and mass kicking users off the internet. A little late on this one. The court leaned on Sony's own 1984 Betamax case, basically saying if a service has a legitimate uses, and the internet definitely does, you don't get to blame the pipe. Yeah, that's questionable nowadays. You don't get to blame the pipe. So, but the problem is Cox had already been hit with a $1 billion verdict back in 2019, which was later overturned, but the ruling shuts the door on that liability theory forever. So, well, until it's relitigated, you can say things are forever, but then I look at Roe v. Wade and go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But so, and on the final, this is the bad news of the week, or at least the predictably annoying news. Netflix is raising prices again across every subscription tier up to $12 or up to 12.5%. So yeah, every plan is going up, which is like, great, just what we need. So, if the Warner Brothers deal had gone through, maybe.
Yeah,
but
then you would have a reason.
Yeah, but Netflix's president assured everyone the shelved Warner Brothers deal had, quote, no impact on their pricing strategy. So this one is 100% all them. And if you don't like it, co-CEO Ted Sarandos wants you to know that you can, and this is a real quote, cancel with one click. Thanks, Ted. Very helpful. Appreciate it.
I might. There's not a lot I watch on Netflix.
That's the only one I can't cancel. I got too much stuff on there that I watch. So you got me by the balls, Ted. Fuck you.
Oh, that's the problem. They know it.
At the library.
I decided I needed to take a break from fiction after the last few books that I read. So I I've been hearing about this book for a while, so I wanted to check it out. It's called Breath, The New Science of a Lost Art by James Nestor. And it's basically supposed to be, it's a bit Elon Musk. It overpromises and underdelivers. The book is supposed to basically tell you, you're breathing wrong, which a lot of people are. The TLDR on that is breathe in through your nose at all times. Never breathe in through your mouth. Your nose is designed to take air in. There's a bunch of reasons for it. He actually illustrates those perfectly. Makes total sense. Then he goes on flights of fancy about how basically this can solve everything. It will cure cancer if you learn how to breathe properly. Blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say cure cancer. I don't want to get sued by the guy. And there's way too many personal... I guess I just don't like the way he writes. It's way too many personal stories, not enough science, not probably because there isn't about a lot of the claims being made here. A lot of anecdotal evidence, not a lot of real evidence. A lot of, people just aren't studying this, when if you actually then go in and Google search, they are. And they did. And maybe that's not quite so true. I'm trying to decide if I want to finish the book because there are nuggets in there that's pretty good. I decided to use my AI, my Claude, my desktop Claude, and
Yes.
I popped in. I was like, okay, can you tell me what are the actual scientific opinions about Breath, the New Science of a Lost Art by James Nestor? And it basically came back with decidedly mixed.
Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful.
So yeah, again, it comes down to some of it is actually studied and pretty spot on and pretty basic. And if you're curious about it, and there are some interesting stories in there. And I've been definitely more focused on my breath and how I breathe now, particularly when I'm exercising, because I used to just huff and puff because that you think that's what you're supposed to do. No, I breathe in through the nose, measured, relaxed. I've learned some timing methods that I use now. I find that I have more energy when I work out. I'm able to lift stronger, go faster on my bike, all that sort of stuff. It actually really does help. So there are some great nuggets in here that are worth learning about. It's a really long book to get to just those nuggets. And the other thing I wanted to point out, which I kind of knew, but it just never clicks into my head right. Exhaling is actually how you lose weight. You don't sweat it out. You don't anything. It's all carbon monoxide leaving your body. That is how you lose weight. So if you learn to breathe properly to maximize the output of carbon dioxide from your body, you are actually helping yourself to lose weight, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
It is. It is cool. Also, if you've ever take a voice lesson, just take a little bit of voice classes for a couple weeks, and you'll learn everything you need to know about breathing.
Yep.
That's one of the best things that you can do. Yes, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and learn a couple different techniques.
Deep
are good.
breaths, deepen your diaphragm, feel your rib cage separate and rise with each breath.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. From the diaphragm.
From the diaphragm.
And when you get stressed out, learn box breathing.
Oh, box breathing is the best. After my surgery, when I was like in pain, that got me through it.
Yeah, box breathing, very simple,
4 in, hold 4, 4 out, hold 4.
Yep, and you can change those numbers based on lung capacity and things like that, but 4 4 4 4 is the easy way to remember it. So, there we go.
4 on the floor.
Closing shout outs.
Over at Patreon, we've got a couple new subscribers. First is Byron, and Byron writes in, "What do you mean you don't like Firefly? Insanity! This membership's not for you. This membership is for the other guy, the guy with taste. Love the show. Look forward to it every week. I am now officially the other guy.
The other
You're
guy.
the guy.
That's okay.
You're the guy with no taste, and I'm the other guy."
Somebody on YouTube basically thinks I'm Dave and keeps responding to things that I said, and it's like, Dave. I'm like, I'm not Dave, man. Dave's not here, man.
I should get on that lower third business so we can actually people are going to remember who the fuck we are. The next one comes from Sean. "Thank you both. Your grumpiness is proof that I'm not alone. Please continue shitting on the tech elite because we all knew who they really are. Don't wear that fucking shirt out again, Zuckerberg. How's the metaverse doing, you Ray-Ban wearing wannabe bunker bro? Thank you for your time. Godspeed." Thank you, Sean.
Sean, some box breathing might help you.
Yeah. Helps us get through the show every week. And we'd also like to thank Jamie, Jim, Plumman, Vision, XT1, Niklaus, Karts, Tiny Wings, Rabbi Stephen, Les Douze Lesbiennes Fabuleux, and Clark.
Wow.
Thank you all so much for your continued patronage at Patreon.
I think I found my favorite Patreon.
Yeah.
Over at PayPal, we've got Charlie, Joseph, Jens, and Jason, who gave us a $50 donation. Thank you so much.
Great name. Thanks for the 50. Over the tip jar, we've got Stephen, Kathleen, Jennifer, and Gabriel with the big 20. So thank you all very much. And we are a fan-supported show, so if you would like to keep the show on the air, please head over to gog.show/donate, or you can go to patreon.com/GOG and sign up for as little as $3 a month. You buy the whole year, you get a discount, and that's as little as you can give as much as you like. We'll take as whatever you want to give us. I recommend the Gold Monkey tier. Mighty fine tier. You get the show a little early, ad-free, and in high definition. So thank you all for your continued support.
All right. It was about, what was it? Oh my God, it's been 2 years now already. That right around this time that we lost Carl Wallinger, the main driving force behind World Party. Good friend of mine, close friend of mine. I was very sad to hear it. I unfortunately don't think I'm going to be able to make it over to London for this, but the family and friends have put together a special concert that will be taking place. It's a celebration of Carl Wallinger's life and music presented by all World Party members, and there were quite a few, and special guests. It'll be the 25th of October this year at Shepherd's Bush Empire in London. More details are to follow. Sign up at worldparty.net to hear them first. If you can make it to the show, I guarantee you it's going to be phenomenal. I'm going to try my damnedest to get there, but that's just not looking good for me right now. So
That would be a fun show. That would be a fun show. Very missed. Very missed. Until next time, I'm Jason DeFilippo.
And I'm Brian.
I'm the guy that likes Firefly, Jason DeFilippo.
Right.
He's the other guy.
Firefly guy, me, not Dave. Thanks for listening to Grumpy Old Geeks. Get all the links and goodies from today's episode at gog.show/739. Want to keep the grumpiness alive? Toss a few bucks our way at gog.show/donate. Every penny helps keep the show on the air. Love the show? Share it. There's a share button in your podcast player. Use it to spread the grumpiness of friends, foes, and everyone in between. Tell them that Dave's guy is hilarious. Swing by gog.show to join our Discord and chat with us and other show fans. Got thoughts, feedback,
Except for
links?
Dave, because he can't get on Discord.
Dave's not there, man. Hit us up at gog.show/contact. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review at gog.show/review, and we'll read it on the show. And guess what? We've got merch. I swear to God, we're going to make new merch someday. Snag your grumpy gear at shop.gog.show. Stay grumpy.